Hold on. We receiving video? We receiving audio? Hold on. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So we're live.
Yeah, baby.
Do
We're
I get to
here.
do the live intro?
You do. You do. You in fact do. Let me drop this good old link while you do that in the chat here for all the diabolical
Fantastic.
Playconomists out there. Get
So
them
what?
going, you know?
While Bobby is dropping the link, I can hit you all with a big old what's good, everyone, and welcome to another live episode of Playconomics, episode 99. If you're keeping track, I'm keeping track, where we break down the business behind your favorite video games, our favorite video games, and provide you with financial context for industry trends. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Mascari, and joined with me today is the
Today and
green
always.
today and always.
Don't you dare
Except
try to
for like
replace
a
me.
whole month where you didn't show up on the show. Bobby Kowicki, what's going on,
I'm
my
sorry.
guy?
Was the phone not working to Black Site?
It's
Speaking
fair.
of
You
Black
got
Site, so
it.
are we gonna even acknowledge your
Listen,
setup? Are we
listen.
going to?
I'm going through a change in office, and next week you have my guarantee. What will is behind me will be lit,
You're gonna
as
Apple
lit
Vision
as our
Pro just
FTX
feet?
sponsor.
Yeah, I. That is still wild that you have that shirt.
I only wear it for the live episodes just to get your live reaction to me supporting FTX way after the fact. But don't invest in FTX. Come on. But as you're bringing
FTX
in,
no longer exists.
I know, I know. As you're bringing, speaking of things that are financially irresponsible, while you're shooting the link into our Discord, also follow our Discord. Links on the screen. It should be on the screen if Bobby did his job. We're gonna take you in to major. We're gonna talk about the showcases first and foremost, but that's at the end of the show. The end of the show. You gotta stick with us for a second. We are starting off with many
We actually
topics
have
as we
topics with financial ramifications.
yes, hilarious financial topics that we need to discuss. And the first being Sonic creator Yuji Naka gets 2 years in prison for defrauding those shareholders.
We got him.
We finally got him. The
We
man
got him.
responsible for Sonic the Hedgehog is finally behind bars. Do you remember our
Look,
one viewer, Vegan the Hedgehog? Do you remember him?
sadly, I do.
I miss Vegan. How are you doing, my guy? How are you doing?
Um, I would just like to say before we go any further on the topic, when this first what was my joke about this? I don't know, a month ago, 6 weeks ago, when I said how they got him. What was the bit?
Are you asking me to recall something that was moderately funny? Is that what you're doing right now? I can't.
That I said it was
Tell me
just
what
like
it
Al
is.
Capone because they got him on tax evasion instead of the real crime. Look, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is, last week on Sacred Symbols, Colin Moriarty made the same exact joke, which is fine because I respect him and would love to have him on the podcast.
But if he doesn't come on, we're pursuing litigation.
We're immediately.
Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah.
That's is 100% what you're hearing.
Terms and conditions of the litigation come on the Playconomics podcast.
Yeah, so he was fined 2.5 million yen. He was fined twice for 2.5 million and 170 million, and now he's got 2 years in prison. So just clap it up for the justice system because finally Andrew Tate is out, Sonic creators in. I want
Can we be
I want
clear?
a chat GPT to write me the sitcom of Andrew Tate in Romanian prison with his cellmate as the guy who
It's
invented
Yuji
Sonic.
Naka. Yuji Naka.
Would
I would
would
like to
that
note
not be hysterical?
it would. It would. I want to clarify for the audience that Sonic the Hedgehog is not the reason he is in prison. It's for
Although
insider
it should
trading.
be. It should be. You know what I
did not-
love? That every photo they pick of this guy is of him with the Balan Wonderworld hat. Every
Yes.
time I've seen a story on this fucking guy, it's always been with this hat. Hysterical, which I love to death, right?
He looks like a fucking Mario villain.
Right?
Like he kind of looks like Wedding Bowser.
And
in
he
this
has
picture.
no remorse. If you read in the article, like he made a comment, he's like, okay, this is what it is. I mean, clearly this man is lacking in the soul department to just even come up with Sonic in the first place.
How many Sonic jokes can you make?
Oh my God, it's endless, endless.
And isn't
Can
this
you
one?
imagine? Hold on. Imagine the prison. Murderers, arsonists, cannibals, the guy who invented Sonic and got put away for insider trading.
For 2 years. And
I
if I
want to know
remember,
what that prison life is like.
you
I
need
mean,
to chat PG it.
yeah. Look, Sonic, what I'll give him credit for is he was finally like, what if we stopped with the bullshit games? And what if we just made like a Sonic game but new? You saw that Sonic, that Superstar Sonic thing that they announced?
Yeah.
I'm never gonna play it, but it's in line with what the people want, I imagine.
It looked fine.
Going
Looked
fast,
fine.
I don't know.
It
I have a
can't be
job
worse
and a
than
wife.
Frontiers.
I don't Sonic is not something I indulge in.
No, you could play Zelda though.
Ah, it's got batteries. What else you got for me, kid? Huh?
So we're gonna switch over because we're live streaming to another live streaming service, the one that we are currently not using because we use Xbox or we use sorry, little spoiler for the end of the show. We use YouTube to stream live. However, Twitch just enacted some very questionable policies in which what they're basically doing is they're changing the way that ads present themselves on Twitch while you're streaming. So instead of commercial break, basically 30-second ad, you could skip, you could not skip, 15-second ads. Instead, there will be a constant ad in the top right corner of your feed that takes up about 3% of your viewing screen of actual gameplay, which I believe in the math's done by this beautiful article.
The Verge.
Actually, it was by The Verge, but the tweet was actually by Zach Bussey. Fantastic. It's probably
Fake
Busey.
name. Immediately fake name.
It's definitely Zach Busey, but it's Zach Bussey.
Is it Gary Busey's son, you think?
Probably.
I hope that would be.
So at max size, the logo actually takes up about 9% of your screen. Which, it doesn't seem like that's true. That's what this guy's claiming. But right now it's 3% of your screen, and I don't know. Personally, and we disagree on this a lot, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, look, here's my thing. Twitch is in its death roll right now. You know, who's your Warcraft messiah that you follow on Twitch? What's his name? The guy who showers?
Oh, no, Asmongold.
Yeah, I'm glad that's what
Yeah.
ticked you off there.
You got
All
me. You
Warcraft
got me.
players.
Yeah. Some of them shower. I showered while I was playing World of Warcraft. Just
Not
like
likely.
3-4 times a month.
I will never get the image out of my head of the South Park World of Warcraft player when he's on the porta potty. Like that to me will forever be the World of Warcraft archetype.
Yes.
Here's my thing with this. Twitch is in its death throes. It's clearly scrounging at every possible angle to extract funds out of its relevant creators that are sticking to the platform. Yep. Right? Mark my words. Here's a clip, baby. Here it is. Ready? Here it comes. Here I am.
Clip.
We're almost done. Pause for a cause. Twitch has got 2 years max left.
And when you say max, are they canning it at 2 years?
I think it has run its relevancy. I think it's run its financial return. I think you've got stuff like Kick and YouTube Gaming coming for its lunch.
Let me get percentages.
This is a desperate move, because this is a move that you make knowing full well you will upset your employees, your streamers, right? And that's not to say that I believe that you should always pander to the wants, wills, and of your employees. Yep. I've gone on many rants about unionization in the games industry, right? Also, I'm noticing here that I accidentally set this live with chat disabled. That was not intentional. So
what
you guys
is the CPA gonna do?
I don't know. He's the actuary now.
No,
anyway,
different guy.
Twitch.
That literally different person in our thing.
We don't know that.
Back to Twitch. I do.
this is a move where you don't make a move like name another company that does something that is so clear cut to upset your revenue streams, which are your creators. With the creators,
Yeah.
there's no viewers. Without no viewers, there's no ad rev. Why do you do this? Because they're not that stupid.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, I'm asking like
Oh, you're saying
that
legitimately why?
what like how and it's not money hungry, but how underperforming are Twitch's other ad placements that through I'm sure many 8B tests, focus groups, blah 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 bullshit came to the fact that they're like, what if we just burn the ad in constantly?
Listen, I don't necessarily, obviously it needs to be generating revenue. Like they need to have this generate more revenue than the previous model or it doesn't make sense. I'm wondering how they make these decisions. Like, are these not like play tested, but are these focus grouped with Twitch
They
streamers?
have to be. Maybe not with the streamers, but they have to be. Who are the biggest people on the platform right now? Because I would say we're in that kind of next, class
Next
of
window.
streamer
Hold
with
on. Give me a second.
I Show Speed and the guy who broke the sub record. I forget his name. Kai something. I forget his last name. Anyway, not important. Point I'm trying to make is they're both on Rumble now, and on Kick.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you something since you're bringing up the other streaming services. So you said in 2 years Twitch is gone, but let me get you to clarify what you mean there. The last time we checked at the beginning of 2023, they released numbers that 71% of the streaming market share is Twitch. It had YouTube at about 10 or so percent. Facebook gaming was like 5 or so, and then it was minuscule. In 2 years, what does that percentage look like? Are we talking a 0% Twitch? Because I don't think that's feasible.
No. Short of shutting down the business like they did with Mixer, you'll never see a 0% Twitch, right?
Okay. So is it just a 50-50 swap, like it's no longer the majority? Or is it we're talking a 20-30% like viewership versus the other streaming services? What do you got for me?
It's hard to tell because you kind of have to approach it from what is the end game with Twitch? Is it to extract is it stealing the silverware on the Titanic type thing, right? Where it's like, let's get as much money as we can while we can. We know the ship's going down. Mm-hmm. Is it let's try new economic models that our competitors aren't working because we understand that their model isn't cost effective long term, so we'll sort of head them off at the pass and wait for themselves to burn out?
Okay.
Is it it's certainly not let's do the obvious fucking thing, which I've been saying for a long time.
Search.
Hey, just implement a search bar.
Yep. So what do you clarify for our viewers? What do you mean by in 2 years Twitch is dead?
I think in 2 years Twitch will exist but have a fraction of the cultural relevancy and revenue that it has now. So much so that it won't make a difference if it is live or not, right? I think you will see so many. I think within the next 2 years, you will see a from zero streamer on Rumble, Kick, YouTube become a spotlight person, right? Like everybody who's big right now is big because they started on Twitch. We've yet to have the person pop from another platform. I think in the next 18 months you see that. I think once that happens, then why do you need Twitch anymore? Because clearly it's doable on other platforms.
Okay, so what you're saying is not necessarily Twitch itself. They're not going to shutter Twitch in 2 years, and it might still be the leader in streaming services, but it won't be that like synonymous with streaming that it once was. For example, I can say Google something instead of search something, and you know what I mean, because Google is so ingrained in what we do and how we function with the internet that you can literally tell someone Google, it is now a verb.
Yeah.
Twitch is synonymous with streaming. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And if I was to tell you that I was streaming, you would ask me what my Twitch handle is. In 18 months, you're saying that's not the case. It's like, oh, what platform are you on? Kind of like I make content.
I think what it becomes is what type of content do you stream? Because I
Hmm.
think in online talk shows, podcasts, politics, I think that is taking up a bigger piece of the live stream pie. Where I think that is going to help put and legitimize the streaming aspect as kind of a Trojan horse to get gaming in.
Okay, so you think that other. So you say that Twitch is really synonymous with gaming right now.
That's the only thing it is.
Yeah. So you're saying that you can now get your gaming start on these other streaming services that are currently powerhouses in podcasts, different types of video content.
I was bullshitting and joking, right? Andrew Tate is on Rumble. He does a
Yep.
live stream about, I don't know, smoking cigars and push-ups. But you also like Diablo 4.
Yep.
Maybe there's a crossover audience there if I am also streaming Diablo 4 as his stream is ending.
Gotcha. Okay. I get you. I get you. It will no longer Twitch will no longer be the premier and the premier place for video game streaming. It will have legitimate competition.
Correct.
Okay. Not shuttered. Not shuttered. But I think we could put a pin on Twitch. But as we continue to talk about streaming, we're going to talk about one of the biggest streamers of all time, Nick Merckx, got canned from his Warzone bundle. And in response to this, Dr. Disrespect is now boycotting Warzone over Nick Merckx. And Tim the Tapman has asked his bundle to be removed as well in solidarity with his boy Nick Merckx. And regardless of your opinions on the matter, you got 3 heavy hitters off your game at a time where it really needs viewership. Warzone is not doing well, and I'm listen, right or wrong, agree with Activision, agree with Nick Merckx.
You know,
Everyone can agree that this is a hit for Warzone by not having these 3 guys on it.
we are in a space right now where we are in real time watching companies react to social initiatives and it decimating their bottom line. We've seen it in front of us, right? Target lost like what, 10 billion? Something to that effect,
Yeah, they pulled something, I forget. It
right?
was some shirt. Oh.
When you are working at the level where your product is being evangelized by certain people, and then having those people, specifically one of whom has a competing product to your product. Do you understand what it is to be Call of Duty, to be on the back foot, to have a game that, you know, is not really catching like it used to have one of your people be, I don't know, a ex video game developer who has amassed a massive streaming audience, has started his own video game studio, and is, oh yeah, building a competitive product, uninstall your game that, let's face it, he was pretty much playing for charity because Doc could play chess and people would watch.
I would pay to see him play chess.
Right? I don't. Do you think Call of Duty reinstates the bundles? Number one. No, I don't think so either. How
You can't
much?
walk it back. You can't walk it back.
How much and in what way does this affect their bottom line?
I think where we're really going to see the bottom line, because I don't think it's fair to speculate on the viewership, because personally I'm just unaware of how much was Nick Merckx really playing Warzone. And that might be an obvious question to some people. I'm just unaware. I don't really follow Nick Merckx that closely. What I think they're actually losing is those 2 bundles. Like, people not being able to buy them. I think that would have been a solid, and we know with these live service free to play games, the big money is in the cosmetics.
I
And Tim the
will.
Tatman and Nick Merckx not being in your store and available to buy hurts your bottom line.
I'll up your ante there one more and say this also hurts because, like, all right, what about the people who watch Nick Merckx who can't buy his pack and say, "Fuck you, Call of Duty. I'm not buying anything now."
That's again, I'm not sure how much of Nick Merckx.
Doc, Nick Merckx, Tim, like
Yes.
any of them.
Yes,
Who
they're
like
definitely going to take a hit. And my thing is, I don't think the issue with this, I'm assuming it was a difficult decision for Activision to make, is because I don't really see a revenue upside for this decision. Like I see people.
it's a, no, it's a long play. It's not a revenue play.
No,
It's a
I
virtue
understand.
play.
I
It's,
understand,
hey,
but
we did the thing that people wanted us to do.
yes, but the revenue is not going to go up. Like no one is going to choose to now purchase something from Warzone because they banned Nick Merckx. The question I pose to you, real quick, is do you think they lost more money on Nick Merckx fans not making those purchases, or people that would have gotten offended from this, from his bundle still being in there, not making purchases? Which one do you think outweighs the other? Just
Oh,
speaking
100%.
strictly financial.
I think if they never acknowledged us that at all, they would have lost a fraction of what they're going to lose.
I agree. I think this short term. I think this costs them money.
The
Definitely.
minute you get involved and you pick a side, you upset everybody because number one, you've upset one side who feels wrong, and number two, I guarantee you there are still people out there who are like, "Well, that wasn't enough. Why didn't you blank?"
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
Man,
Are we talking about before we talk about what we really got in here? Bobby, we haven't connected in a minute. What have you been playing, my guy? Let me know in the chat, which you can't comment on. Send it in the Discord. Message us on Twitter.
oh yeah, you know where you can
Instagram.
engage with us right now? If you scan the QR code on our screen for free, you can join the Playconomics Discord.
Love it for free. Hold on, I'm opening it right now. I'm going to tell you all of the cool things that are on
Send
it.
Matt a ppicture of your feet in the Discord.
I was literally about to
Immediately.
say the only thing that is in my Discord feed right now are a picture of Bobby's feet. 100%. If you
Told you.
want,
Called it. Nailed it.
100%. The actuary is also posting pics of his feet.
I haven't played a goddamn thing in a week. I boot up Zelda like once. Like I said last
Still
week,
good?
I'm in.
Still
Oh
having
yeah,
fun?
great, cool. It's as good as it's gonna be.
That's fair. You think game of the year still for you?
It never was, if you'll recall from last
Oh
week.
my
I
God,
picked
Resident
a good
Evil
game of the
4.
year. You'll.
Can't have a remake be game of the year. But I have been playing almost exclusively
Fake news.
Diablo.
Yeah, how's that been going for you, man?
It's absolutely fantastic. The couch co-op aspect's great. I love looking at all the builds, although I ignore them and do my own because the game is, the way that I'm playing it is easy enough to just smash through. I'm currently a bear druid pulverizing the shit out of everything, and it's absolutely fantastic, and I love it.
I like how the CPA is commenting live, just like so many of you can do right now.
He literally said, for the record, scan the QR code and then posted a link of photos.
Love to see it, CPA.
We look good. We
we
looking
look good.
good. We're ready for the Spartan race. That's what we're ready for.
I'm kidding me. I'm born.
I'm not. I'm good. I've decided that the only difference that now and the end of September is going to make for me on this Spartan race is how bad do I get hurt. Like, it's not, will I stress fracture my ankle? It's, yes, how bad? Will it be your foot, ankle, and shin? Or is it just your foot? Is it just your ankle? Is it just your shin?
You should immediately start training.
Listen,
We're 4 months out.
I know, I've been lightly training. It is now high intensity. Let's get into gear because I'm going to get hurt.
I ran hills with a weighted vest today. What did you do?
I haven't done anything. I went to the office in 2 different locations today. So
Diablo 4, Bear Druid. So you cut a hole in your couch so you wouldn't have to go to the bathroom anymore.
better believe that. And I'm going to cut a hole in my feet so that I barefoot it like our other friend and bleed the good blood. But yeah, I've been playing Diablo. I've been playing a lot of Diablo. I'm just waiting for Final Fantasy 16 to release. And
Isn't it like in a little more than a week?
I think next Saturday. Not this coming up Saturday. Oh, next Monday. Releases the 26th, right?
22nd, baby.
Oh, the
So
22nd?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep. I'm looking at it right now. So I don't know why Matt thinks it's not that. It's
Why do I
clearly
think
that.
26th.
It's the 22nd.
Whatever.
Ding.
Yeah, June 22nd. Yeah. Releases Thursday. Fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to play this.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I
Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. But let's get into the real meat and potatoes of what we came to talk about. You
hold on.
introduce it. What?
I'd like to
Oh my god. What could
propose a what do they call it in a bet? Let's make a parlay. I'd like to invoke a parlay here.
Okay.
You read the title of this segment that I wrote, and I will give you fair, impartial feedback.
That's not what a parlay
on everything. Yeah, it is.
But this is quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
It was a perfect call that I made to the perfect Matt call.
So the main topic of the is Xcox shit case. Is what Bobby got. Now, before he gives you his fair, unbiased opinion, because I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it about this Xcox shit case. I am not gonna get fair, unbiased. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, and if you don't want to hear them, skip forward about 5 minutes because I'm gonna go on a tear. Bobby, I don't want you to say anything for the next 5 minutes. Here we go.
Do you know how physically hard that's gonna be for me to do?
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Matt's thoughts. Overall, 9 out of 10 showcase. The only thing that could have possibly have made this better is if they would have legitimately released a game or had some super unrealistic release date for Fable, Starfield, some other. If they would have just been like, oh, you know what, Starfield, we said it was in September, it's actually today. Or Fable, you know how we didn't tell you when it was? It's actually coming out in a month from now. They didn't do that.
Phil Spencer, he's out. Andrew Tate, new CEO.
Clock it. Literally clock it. It took you 45 seconds. It took you. You were able to shut up for 45. I put a fucking timer on. 45 seconds. I digress. This is what I deal with on this show. You guys don't see this because it's not usually live. This is what I deal with every week to make it stay quiet for a minute. A literal minute. You know how hard it is to get in a word when Bobby literally can't make it over a minute without hearing himself talk. It's impossible.
I just imagine, I'm sorry.
What?
Imagine the press conference where they're like, we heard your feedback about our bro culture and the harassment suits, so we've decided to make some structural changes here at Activision Blizzard. Bobby Kotick is now out and will be replaced with Andrew Tate. Okay, I'm sorry. Go.
Okay. Fable. 5 out of 5 trailer. Fable humor. Check. 100% in it. Seemingly total revamp of the franchise to modernize it. Check. Jack and the Beanstalk theme. I love it. Gameplay and in-game footage. Check. I loved every second of it. 100% instant buy. What?
Bobby Quick, Playconomics. Quick
Yep.
question for you here. Mm-hmm. Did you not feel that the overall tone of the dialogue was like if a 12-year-old was asked to write a Marvel movie set in almost Harry Potter?
No. Next game.
I'm sorry. The writing, oh, are we doing this? Oh, is this thing on? It's just as bad as the Forspoken. And look, Forspoken, PS5 exclusive, was just as bad as the, oh, so this is what I do now. Should I do this? Oh, did I just move that with my mind? Just as bad. Equally bad, just as cringe.
It's not. It was a fantastic trailer. I will not let you harsh on my parade. Go back to not talking. South of Midnight. Sick banjo line. Check. 100% in the game. An awesome new take on magic and mysticism by putting it in the fucking New Orleans, down in the bayou with some good old-fashioned magic. 100% check. In-game footage, check. And no gameplay
Please
needed.
stop.
No gameplay needed because they literally just showed you another game with them using magic, and they can't do that back to back. Next, Star Wars
Hold
Outlaws.
on. Let me give some
I literally
kudos
said,
here.
do not speak for the
No, we're
next
gonna go
5
back
minutes.
and forth. We're going back and forth. I've decided because I'm not gonna let you get through this and not give you
It's
your
because you
props.
can't do it. You
Yes.
cannot do it. You
South
physically
of
can't do it.
Midnight looks awesome.
Love
It
that.
looks. It's by
Beam,
Compulsion
beam, beam,
Games,
beam, beam,
who
beam, beam,
made We Happy Few, which looked like a BioShock spiritual successor. An actual this is BioShock, but it's in a different setting, right? Like we'll get to your game that's BioShock.
Not a direct clone.
South of Midnight is everything I love about games, where I'm like, oh, I love Bayou New Orleans skeleton shit. You know, I'm a sucker for if something has a skeleton on it, there's a 187% chance I'm buying it.
Love this. Absolutely love this. And you know what? You can play it because you could just get Game Pass for $1 and play it and then end your subscription.
Premiere.
Hold on. I'm glad you said that because another reason I gave this a 9 out of 10 is because I have no idea whether or not world premiere and available on Game Pass comes before or after the video. Like, I don't know if it's like world premiere, the video, because
Only
they
on
just
Game Pass.
yeah, like they open the show with Fable. So now I'm like, oh, was that about Fable or was that about South of Midnight? And I didn't know for the rest of the show, and to this day, still do not know.
You just gave up, yeah.
Yeah, I'll find them all on Game Pass eventually, I think. But South of Midnight is gonna be fantastic. 100%. Can't wait to see it. Star Wars Outlaw. I hate the Star Wars franchise. I'm not gonna lie. With a burning passion, I think 1, the movies are trash, and 2, the universe as a whole, meh. And 3, space sucks. Not a sci-fi guy. With that said, I'm here for this game. It looks awesome. I can't wait. No, they didn't put gameplay, but then they released the Ubisoft thing and they did put gameplay and it looks awesome.
Yeah,
100% day one.
I'm stoked on that board meeting at Ubisoft when they're like, how do we make an Uncharted game that's clearly Uncharted, but is guaranteed to just put some fucking Star Wars in it. That's all this. I mean, cool. I give.
Is anything you
low
just said not a fantastic game?
No, cool. Like I'm like you and not a Star Wars guy. So like,
I might play this. This might be good enough for me to play, regardless of Star Wars, and I'll just pretend it's not. But we'll move on. But I'm big. I am super, super big on that game, even though I hate Star Wars. Then we get into 33 Immortals. Looks like a decent, very fun Game Pass roguelike game. Very interested in specifically why it is 33 Immortals.
Because they couldn't just call it Hades because somebody else took that name already. Because it's the game they were copying.
But why every roguelike copies Hades?
That's true.
Why 33? The gameplay, in-game footage looked fine. I'm a little worried that it's going to be super noisy and super cluttered with 33 people on your screen at one time. Just
says the Diablo player. You're worried about screen clutter?
Diablo is hard to play sometimes because of the screen clutter. It's a fair critique. This is not even Diablo. This is a lesser fidelity game that's gonna be really difficult to see everything on your screen. But still excited for it. I think it's an easy game to play on Game Pass that a lot of people will download. I don't know how many die-hard fans the game is gonna have, and I'm worried about if you need 33 people at one time to play this game, how feasible is that going to be 10 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 years from now? Thoughts on 33 Immortals?
0. Indifferent.
Fair. Then
I'm indifferent about everything up until Avowed, so here's your clock.
Payday 3. In-game footage, check. Release date, September 21st. looks like super hot fire. Not the game, the adjective. Surprised they could release a Payday game. In the Listen, hear me out, hear me out. It seemed in today's PC culture, me being able to rob a bank and hold somebody in first person at gunpoint and then shoot a cop seems like a lot. And I personally think that that is why this game is not getting that much attention, because it looked awesome. It looked awesome.
I can't talk, but I had such a good joke.
It looks fantastic. I think if this had come out in like 2009, we'd be having a different conversation. We're going to go and we're going to cover a bunch of games in this next segment.
Oh, yeah, the feet. I call this one the feet segment of the show.
Persona 3 Reloaded. Persona 3 Tactical. Metaphor Phantasmo.
What a name. All these people should be fired immediately.
Yakuza Like a Dragon. These games are not for me. I might play Yakuza. It looked cool. Xbox is making a huge push for the Eastern market.
Yes, they are.
And I'm a bit... Listen, they don't have an Eastern market right now. So the fact that not only were these things available on Xbox, which is very seldom, they usually come much later in delayed releases or at all. The fact that they were revealed at the Xbox showcase is a fantastic pat on the back for Phil Spencer getting the Eastern market into the showcase. Big fan. It's going to be one of my highlights at the end of this. Then we get into Avowed. And give me your thoughts on Avowed first, because I want to leave the people with the unadulterated, unfiltered, unbiased godsend that this video game is. Go.
Based on a trailer.
With gameplay.
I don't know. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's
awesome.
The
fantastic, mystical, whimsical.
Yeah, what
beautiful?
Was it? Outer Worlds. It was Outer Worlds, Skyrim. Same art style, same writing. Cool.
Name one thing wrong with what you just said.
Nothing, but again, nothing at the like. It was a lot of fine, which is good, right? Because if you've been walking in the desert for 10 years, you'll drink water out of a toilet and think it's champagne, which is what you Xbox people have had for 3 years here.
How can you say that basically new Skyrim is fine?
Because I haven't played it, and it's not okay. It's new Skyrim, but not by Skyrim, right? Like if Todd Howard came out and said, "Hey guys," that's a bad Todd Howard impression.
You don't think Bethesda is advising on this game?
No. Why would they?
Because they made actual Skyrim.
Of which they're making another. Why would you advise on a competing product?
Because I'm going to get into this. It's also in my notes. I don't think we see Elder Scrolls 6 for 5 years because of this game. I think it is way down the road now, and they're kicking that can to potentially a future console release.
I think, can I give you my tinfoil hat conspiracy?
They cancel it?
No.
Oh.
I think Elder Scrolls is a lot more done than we think it is, but is behind a glass with a little hammer that says shatter in case of Starfield being bad.
Okay, so you think around
I think if Starfield like shits the bed next E3, they're like, "Oh my god, what a fucking coincidence." Remember that thing you guys like?
You can do it even better. If Starfield shits the bed, you can announce it at the Game Awards. Imagine Game Awards 2023, Elder Scrolls 6.
So this is my point. I think we're much like with Rockstar, it's a giraffe's neck situation where the goalpost is fluid on Elder Scrolls. They will release it when they need to.
I kind of agree with you where I think they could release it. I do think we're going to get it 5 years from now, because I think Avowed is going to eat that spot. And I don't think Xbox is going to release two games that directly compete with themselves right within a 2 years experience. Unless Avowed does really bad. Then I would say they're going to be like, yeah, forget about Avowed. Don't pretend it never happened. Elder Scrolls comes out.
Yeah, Phil Spencer's going to go on another podcast and apologize again.
Yo, he was in a dark place.
After he's already spent all your money.
But in a nutshell, I don't think we're seeing Elder Scrolls 6 for 5 years after this game releases. Potentially not until the Xbox, whatever. This game is gonna scratch everyone's Skyrim itch. But it's gonna be Skyrim with a whole new set of lore and an untapped IP that is just going to be like, because it has the history, because there are other games in this universe. I think it is going to bring that full circle, and similar to the way that Elden Ring introduced a lot of people to like the Soulsborne lore, we're going to see the same thing with Avowed and its genre and its backstory. Absolutely cannot wait to play this game. Obsidian's going to kill it, and also showed in-game footage. Love to see it. Love to see it. Then we get to the section of the show which, from what I'm gathering online, people hated.
Yeah, I've nothing to say about any of this. We can glaze over this. I'd rather spend more time talking about the important shit.
That's fair. Live service games. Just a quick update. Sea of Thieves, Elder Scrolls Online. Another reason Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming out anytime soon. Flight Simi, and then some Overwatch 2 announcements. I do want to touch on the Overwatch 2 announcements because it's coming out August 10th, the new update. And it's coming with story missions, which, after they rest in peace PvE, I like that they were able to salvage this. I'm worried that it's gonna be like, imagine how cool this could have been. And unless I'm
over Overwatch.
You're over Overwatch? That's fair. I do love that you get bonuses for playing on Game Pass. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Love those Xbox collaborations. I'm going to touch on the live service at the end of this rant, but Hellblade is our next topic. Hellblade 2 continues to build unadulterated hype.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I thought the last trailer they showed was much better than this one.
It definitely better. But this
the whole troll in the cave thing was way better than her by the cave pond thing. Like, that was just...
Yeah, but this one for me was like an ambiance thing, where like it took you immersively into the world and gave you like the whispers in the head, like you could hear the voices. Were you listening with headphones?
You don't have to tell me. I played the first Hellblade. I've been ringing this bell for a while.
Awesome. And in-game footage looks dope.
Look, I'll say this one thing. Hellblade is their most potential IP to make a Sony game.
Whatever.
You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
Well, Hellblade's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. I'm not comparing the consoles anymore because I'm over it. I've transcended the console war. I no longer give credence to any of it. Next, we're going to talk about Forza. It's more Forza. It's got in-game footage. Looks like Forza.
The cars have wheels this year.
Listen, I feel bad because we gloss over this. We need to get someone on this podcast that loves Forza. If you like Forza...
Yeah, Forza, Gran Turismo, anything.
It doesn't need to be...
These sell.
Absolute numbers. Like, me saying Forza and just glossing over it, Phil Spencer's literally rolling around in bed right now, just like, it sells. It's one of our number one sellers. It's a fantastic game. People want to see this. It's just not me.
Andrew Tate's in the corner telling him to drink sparkling water.
Yeah, and then he's asking him what color is his Bugatti, and he says, all of them. I have all of them because I have Forza. Play Forza and you won't need a Bugatti.
Breaks Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Whole life invalidated. He could have just had the fucking Bugatti. And then I'm not even 100% sure how to say this next game. Is it Juicent?
It's all of the climbing bits from Breath of the Wild in one game. I texted you. I was like, oh.
Yes.
They stole Breath of the Wild. And if I knew that this was not the most egregious thievery that they were going to do during the showcase,
you would have saved it.
I would have saved it. It's Breath of the Wild.
But it's not Breath of the Wild because all you do is climb. Like
I'm the Thor meme. Isn't it though?
Listen, you're gonna get mad when I say this. This gives me Journey vibes. It gives me big Journey vibes. And in-game footage, just as an FYI.
I'm not gonna get
Fantastic.
mad at a dad take.
Listen,
Green
listen.
vibe.
It the way that this was being explained to me made it sound worse because it's like we're gonna make climbing part of the game again, and I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm willing to eat my words on this, and I think this is gonna be a. I think if this was to release on its own, it wouldn't do well, but because it will go to Game Pass, I think this is gonna get the traction it deserves. Coming out fall 2023, straight to Game Pass. Big ups on Jusant. And then we got Still Wakes the Deep.
Very cool. Bobby ass game.
Awesome. Looks so cool. Novel horror experience and looks absolutely terrifying. I'm not big on horror games. I might pick this one up because it's free on Game Pass.
So you're not gonna pick it up. You're gonna play it because it's included in your subscription.
Yeah, 100%. Dungeons for Hinterberg. This was
Don't
the
know, don't
only
care.
game, and I literally could not remember what it was. So, that's fine. Not for me. One miss. Cyberpunk 2077, the Liberty, Phantom Liberty, whatever the actual expansion is called. It's cool.
2 years
that-
later, I don't know. It's giving me Elden Ring DLC vibes, where it's like,
Elden Ring's been out for a year.
when
a half.
Still no DLC. A year and a half, when it's still no DLC, where it's like,
I'm cool with it. The game was absolutely huge. By 2024, we'll have DLC for it, and it'll be the greatest game of all time again. I think it's huge that this got into an Xbox showcase.
they announced it at an Xbox showcase.
The original
Like the
one?
original one. Yeah, where the
Really?
trailer where he bends down, you see it's Keanu Reeves. People lost their mind.
Yeah.
That's the meme where it's like, no, you're incredible.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. I loved Keanu Reeves in the showcase, and specifically in the extended showcase, he was absolutely hilarious. Trailer was dope, in-game footage and extended in-game footage information also looked dope. Am I gonna play Cyberpunk? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the Idris Elba thing is cool. I'm over Cyberpunk though.
They confirm
I
that you
had my
can
time.
jump right into this though, and I haven't played it yet, so I think I'm gonna jump into this, play this piece of it, and then never play it again. City Skyline, another game with in-game footage. Not my game. Cool concept. Love this game for Game Pass. This is like a Minecraft. It's a build, sink a bunch of time into, develop your own world, play with friends. It is the perfect quintessential Game Pass game.
Yeah,
Love to see it.
I would say more Roller Coaster Tycoon or Civ than Minecraft. But yeah.
True. Definitely more roller coaster. I guess this Civ's still around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roller Coaster Tycoon died, right? That died
don't
when
know.
we got
when all
PCs
the
above
people on the-
95.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. It died with a crunch. Did you hold on, call back. Real aside. Anybody in the chat, if you remember this game, I'll send you $5. Do you remember the Captain Crunch box that came with a video game inside? And that you can raise a Crunchling from baby Crunchling to teenage Crunchling to adult Crunchling, and they competed in Olympic Games to fight off aliens that were trying to mine planet Earth of crunch berries.
Get through and we just get to Clockwork Revolution already.
Towerborn looks fun. I was a huge fan of Castle Crashers. I was a huge fan of TMNT. Online multiplayer co-op in-game footage shown. Absolutely love Towerborn. I think it's going to be a fun mash bash game to play with friends. And then we get to Clockwork Revolution.
Please. Oh, the CPA goes Crunchling Adventure. Apparently he also remembers this. Forced my mom to buy it.
CPA $5 in the mail, guaranteed.
Well, he's already taking your money. He works for the government.
That's fair.
He's a government
Joke.
now. So here's the thing. With Clockwork Revolution. You can't. I just need the people to. I sent Matt 4 screenshots, 3 of which were from BioShock Infinite, 1 of which was from Clockwork Revolution.
I thought they were comparisons.
They're the same Like it is so, like even oh, what if we had rails in the sky? Like this is so blatant.
I have a response.
It is like
Tell the people it's identical. They literally are the same trailer,
they're the same trend. They're the
shot
same
for
like
shot.
I don't know how you think you get away with this.
Do you want me to tell you my opinion?
No, Bioshock. Yes, I do. But Bioshock is one of those rare things. Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite, like Cuphead, where if you make something even a little bit kind of close to it,
And to confirm, this is not a little bit close. This
this
is
is yeah, that's the thing where they were like, well, if we're gonna get compared anyway, what if we just make the same fucking game?
listen, listen. If it's identical, it can't be bad. My take is that I don't care, not even a little bit, because I think this game is gonna be awesome. And I think the gameplay and the story have to be so different that nobody cares. If it's the same in any way,
Aside from the art style,
the art style I'm fine with. I literally they could play
story,
the story.
setting.
The story they time traveled in Bioshock Infinite.
Yes, that was like I mean, spoilers for the game. That's like a huge part. Did you not play Bioshock Infinite?
Why am I not remembering this?
Spoiler alert, everybody. Mute. That's like a huge part where at the end of Bioshock Infinite, you go to Rapture. Like she opens the portal and you go to Rapture. It's like multiverse shit.
How
So it's like a core line. She says, "There's always a man. There's always a city. There's always a lighthouse." Man, it's the same game.
It is in fact the same game. So I'm still cool with the copying. I'm still 100% cool with copying. I love the look of the game. I love the time traveling aspect of it. And I'm looking forward to the absolute sheer amount of replayability by the narrative focus that the time travel is going to play in this game and be able to shift the way that I play it. Also, just as a note, also showed in-game footage. I would like
They
to.
might as well have just played the Bioshock Infinite trailer and then with like a children's expo marker, just like
Yeah. So let me ask you something, Bobby. When I was texting you about this showcase, you said same critiques of the Sony showcase.
Same.
No in-game footage. There was for literally everything.
so maybe I didn't phrase that right. I feel like we don't, and maybe this is because it's not live. But like you remember in E3 where like they'd show a trailer and then somebody would come on stage with a controller and play the game, and that's how you knew it was real. You remember these days?
But what's the difference between that and them literally showing you in-game footage?
Because it's not. Listen, you cannot aside from maybe Forza and that 30,000 people game.
33, yeah.
You cannot tell me where the cinematic starts and ends and the gameplay starts and ends. And I'm sure it's in there. And I'm sure if you pixel people, it's hard. Much like your Captain Crunch game, it looked a lot better on the box, I'm sure, than when you
No,
played it.
it was one of my favorite games of all time growing up.
This fucking... Look, here's what I'll say about this. Despite the fact that my critiques are the same, because Xbox has been so optically behind for so long, exactly what I said last week, this appeared the better showcase.
So you think shot for shot, this had the same amount of content, and
No, that's not what I'm
you're
saying.
saying that this was, if we take everything out of the ecosystem, and I tell you that this was the Sony showcase and the Sony showcase was Xbox, you're rating these the same still. Because that's just not true.
I definitely think Xbox was better, but I don't know if that's because it was really better or if because what they've done up till now has been of lacking like Sony has a very high bar to play to. Xbox doesn't right now. You would agree with this, yes? Where any good news is good news, despite the fact that if it's big or not. Yes or no?
No, the last 3 showcases Sony put on were trash.
Correct. To a degree.
It's been 2.5 years since we got any type of good showcase from Sony. Their
Matt, you already
bar.
have me on camera saying it was the better showcase. What else do you want from me?
I want you to say that in a vacuum, this was a good showcase.
It was a
Regard
good. It was fine. It was good. There was nothing here where I was like, how do I put this? How do I put this? I think the Starfield showcase afterwards
Oh, we're about
was
to
a
get to it.
better showcase than everything that they showed in the showcase, right? Like if
Because
they,
Starfield is a 10 out of 10 instant
here we
game
fucking go.
of the year contender immediately. 10 out of 10 game and wins game
How
of
much
the
you want to
year.
bet that people are gonna ding it that it's not gonna be a 10 out of 10?
How? Literally, it's a 10 out of 10 on launch.
You think it has Bethesda jank?
No,
I think so.
They have
Listen,
been.
man, they showed it when that kid runs up to you and they're like, you can have a big fan. And that kid runs up to him like, there's a fucking Bethesda game. There are certain things where it's like the FromSoft door opening animation where
Yeah,
immediately I could tell you who made this. Immediately I could tell you who made that.
I understand, but they already commented and put on record this will have the least bugs of any Bethesda game ever at launch. They said it.
Wow. This will be our least shitty product.
That's literally what they said. And then they said that it runs at 30 frames per second.
Starfield will be, from CPA comments, Starfield will be littered with bugs. Matt has been eating too much Captain Crunch. I agree, CPA. The combat looks better. My exact text to you was, it looks more Fallout than Skyrim, and for that reason, I would play this.
You can just get Game Pass on your computer like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah, yeah.
else.
My point though is like, is this gonna be a Witcher 3? Is this gonna be an Elden Ring? Is this gonna be the game that everybody sits down and says, not only did Bethesda write this book, they're writing the new chapters in it as well. And
I think so.
based on everything that they showed in the trailer, it just seemed like a little bit better version of what we've seen. Oh, you can build a ship? Oh, it's kind of like the settlements in Fallout 4. Oh, companions and stuff like that? Okay, we've seen that. Okay, cool, but this looks better. Oh, the combat looks better. Oh, the perk tree. Like, there was nothing in this game that I saw that I was like, this is something entirely whole cloth, new, brand that we've never seen before.
But that doesn't matter to win Game of the Year or get a 10 out of 10 because Breath of the Wild did. And we've seen all of that already. And
See,
literally Resident Evil 4 was a remake.
But it was a real good one.
It
Anyway.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be Elden Ring to get a 10 out of 10. I guarantee you this goes down as in reputable lists as an easy top 10, low top 5 game ever. It's going to be absolute mind-melting fire.
What is that going to be? What is that moment?
I'm
You
going to
can't
get it.
step out of the vault for the first time in Fallout 3. We've seen that. You can't fight a dragon for the first time. We've done that. What is that moment?
It's going to be I don't know what the moment is with the spaceship. It's going to be a spaceship thing. You're either going to look out into space in your spaceship and be like, "Holy shit." Or you're going to be on a planet, you're going to see something in the sky and be like, "Holy shit." And you're going to get a quest or something and they're going to be like, "That meteor that just passed, go to it, see what it is."
You're going to see in the sky the Macho Man Randy Savage dragon mod from Skyrim.
Or Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, snap into a Slim Jim. Beautiful. It's gonna. I'm 100%. I understand that I could be wrong. I now have full faith. Starfield, instant 10, game of the year, no questions asked.
I want to start an underground movement to have Resident Evil 4. I want to steal the election like that kid who did a shout out to his rabbi, Bill Clinton, on that kid to organize a Matrix psyop for Resident Evil 4 remake to win Game of the Year.
Do it. But To put a pin in my opinions on the Xbox showcase. One, third-party representation was higher than I have seen in quite some time, with not only the amount of third-party representation, but the quality of third-party representation specifically aimed at Eastern markets with Atlas and Capcom. Absolute huge win on this showcase for Xbox, and I appreciate after the lackluster year they had in 2022 and the rough early 2023, them putting so much effort into this showcase and then ending with something, a piece of hardware that everyone and their mother wanted in a 1 terabyte Series S, an actual piece of hardware that people wanted, not earbuds and not Project Q. Stop it. And then they ended with Starfield. Also, their share price went up by like
You think Bethesda's gonna fuck up the watch
$15.
pre-order like they did with the canvas bag for Fallout 76?
No.
Remember this? Speaking
I
of
don't think
Fallout
so.
76, hold on. Can we just talk? We glazed over it.
the live
Fallout,
service.
the Fallout DLC trailer that showed you want about zero gameplay.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just an expansion. But I'm glad you brought up live service. What was one of the biggest critiques of the Sony showcase?
Too much live service.
Xbox showed just about as much live service, but what it wasn't was the introduction of live service. It was just a quick trailer preview, little bit of gameplay of existing live service games and what you were getting next. I think one advantage that Xbox has over PlayStation currently is that in the live service marketplace, Xbox already has their roots ingrained. They can slowly add a live service game here, slowly there. When Sony is seeing the writing on the wall that it's taking them longer to develop games, their IP, according to Sony, isn't profitable and it needs to be carried by third party things like Call of Duty. Live service games and PlayStation Plus are the answer to keep them afloat in between The Last of Us 3, the Spider-Man 3, the God of War, whatever, 50 billion.
This fucking guy.
They have to implement it now, all at once, and it's giving a lot of negative feedback to the fans because they know what live service games are. They know what subscriptions are. They are cash grabs. They're a way to even out revenue throughout a year, slowly and steadily increase it. Xbox organically added those to their profile, not all at once as a cash grab because they are in need.
I appreciate
lack
you
of a
being so
better term.
critical of Apex Legends. It's very nice and refreshing.
I'm not. I would like to note that early in the show that you said that Warzone was a dying game and had very, very good competitors, and Apex is their competitor, so I assumed you meant Apex. Didn't want to bring it up, but Apex for president.
Okay. Matt, bring us in for a landing before I rip my router out of my wall to stop this live stream from going any further.
If you liked what you heard, you know where to find us. Follow us on TikTok. Also, are we on TikTok anymore? We are. We are still on TikTok. Follow us on YouTube for some reels and podcast content once a week. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. Apple Music, Spotify, any of the other ones that aren't as popular. And also follow us on Instagram. And remember, as always.
Oh, happy game! I didn't realize. Happy gaming, happy gaming, everyone.